Hi everyone. I hope you can see me, hear me. All right. And I'm live. I think, yeah. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And as part of our alternate Wednesday YouTube schedule, I will be covering any updates we had on our baskets and of course take questions in case you have submitted. And of course, broader questions which I have come on the email. Also, you know that we have done the rebalance for Alpha Blend this morning, and since it's a good day to come online because there are a large set of our users who are a part of Alpha Blend. So Alpha Blend rebalance, as you all know, we have been Alpha being one of the factor which is the most volatile of all, and if you look at Nifty Alpha index as well, it is one of those index which has been say on the receiving side of the fall, whereas say multi-factor baskets which have multiple factors in them, or even theme baskets such as capital market theme and baskets such as growth at fair value, right? Growth and value flexi cap model. They have done really, really well in this market, and I think the winner of all has been the balance basket, right? Which is multi-asset product and been the number one, I'll say, in all metrics, be it the performance, be it the volatility control. So what I was thinking to cover, of course, I have my monthly AMA Ask Me Anything meeting coming up this Saturday. So we will, of course, cover in details with all of our investors, subscribers in terms of the say the journey. But today I can, of course, take you maybe some more data which is publicly available and which kind of give you a direction of what the DIA as a factor, what the DIA domestic funds are doing. So my team has done me a favor. They have did one slide. They have done one slide which talks about mutual fund data. Of course, you will see some names coming up on your screen. Now, the intention of these names is, of course, disclaimer goes that these are not investment advice and talk to your financial advisor. And the stocks you may see may be a part of our basket. So there is an open disclosure there that none of it is none of the data is proprietary, what I am sure going to show, but more about what is filed to the MFI as part of the monthly filing, right? And that filing has just completed. So we now have the mutual fund flows. Not sure if you can see my screen. I will wait for a second and I'll just mute my phone as well because it has been uh, uh, kind of continuously getting a ping. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen and let me see if I can see myself as right. Okay, so here is my screen which says insights on the mutual fund flows. I have not say done any addition apart from what the team has shared. So I'll just quickly talk about you know, some notes that the team has come up with and very smart, talented guys behind this. It talks about which sectors the quantity has been rising and the volume in terms of the actual money has been adding. So if you see food products has some change in value, but if you see in, of course, that change in value could be because of the price. Price may go up and price then it will show the change in price in the positive side or overall price has fallen in that sector, which may mean that the change in value could be in negative or in the lower side. But the quantity change would be a good indication of whether it's a start of a tailwind, I'll say. कुछ नीचे सपोर्ट मिल रहा है आपको या फिर म्यूचुअल फंड भी बेच रहे हैं तो एक हेडविंड ही है. So आप देखोगे तो food products में there is a start of tailwind as maybe just a question mark which we have to of course deep dive and I'll do that in couple of slides I have. This is the whole agenda of this meeting and since this is a YouTube meeting anybody can refer later as well. Now fintech, especially fintech space in the financial technology space has seen a big change in value and in exposure. which means that there's a 10% increase in exposure, and this is all fund house together, right? I mean, I'll say also fund house, most of the fund houses. So we do cover, we do check all 45, 50 fund houses in the country, and this is the cumulative data. And the source of this data is MFI, right, which is the actual source where the submissions are done by the asset management companies. So overall, there is a good 10% increase in exposure in that space, which means that you may see that the sort of accumulation is happening in those kind of sectors. IT, if you see, value of course has gone down by 170 crore in terms of holdings, and of course there's a big portion of money because we are a big market now. It simply means that the value is flat rather, or maybe because of market has fallen, and it's just but it's 1% of the overall AUM. But you see, they're buying at lower price. So mutual funds are buying IT, mid, small, at lower price. Even the price has been falling, 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 and the value in crores has also decreased. But अब देखो तो buy कर रहे हैं mutual funds. टेलीकॉम में अच्छा नहीं चल रहा. टेलीकॉम में वैल्यू वहीं की वहीं थी. प्राइस बड़ा होगा तो मे बी नाउ बुक्ड आउट, सो वैल्यू चेंज नहीं हुई, बट देखोगे तो 12% क्वांटिटी चेंज हो गई है. मतलब बुकिंग हो रही है प्रॉफिट से भी, प्राइस तो नहीं बदला, हमारे पास उतनी करोड़ की होल्डिंग है, अभी भी वैल्यू उतनी रही, तो अगर दोबारा एडजस्ट किया गया तो प्रॉफिट बुक करने के लिए वो स्टॉक्स को बेचती है म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री ने. ऑटोमोबाइल में अगर देखोगे आप तो big change in value. You know that auto has been the beauty last month. I think if you see entire August, how auto stocks, how auto components companies have done a big rally, and many of our baskets which had exposure to both automobiles, and of course we are very bullish on auto components, and avoid the names of the companies, but if you know that we are covering many names in the space of auto components, and they have done a very big run. So of course GST is there, and if still can continue to show some momentum, um, and when we say MF has started booking profits, it's booking profits because ultimately there's also intention, as we do as part of our baskets review, that if a sector is exposed 20% and something has risen too much, then we also book something, right? So that we bring back the sector exposure to a limit. That's a brief summary of kind of highlight of where the buying and selling has happened. We will eventually make this data more and more cleaner in the times to come, and we'll be able to offer you more detailed insights, and we call it DII factor, right? As we call momentum factor, value factor, quality factor. This is a DII factor. So we use this as a factor as part of a factor investing framework. Now, if you see now, of course, as I said, the names given here are for educational purposes, you can say. None of it or all of it may or may not have any holdings with us. But a disclaimer is that we are not, I mean, I don't want to call out few, but the point is, but if you look at these companies, what you see here, right? This is also, we say that consumer retail is a proxy to demand playing out, which means it is a good environment right now in terms of some inflation being controlled, interest rates on the lower side, more rate cut expected, all of that. If you think from a global perspective, I hope somebody is watching, right? Yeah, okay. So you see these companies, right? Like I want to avoid names because now the AI will capture the names I'm taking and will then scan across my channel and block my channel just because I took a name. Even though the intention, this is a public data, right? This is not, this is publicly available. Anybody who knows Excel can do this. So if you see uh, this company, fantastic. You see all, all those. You search about any car in India. You've the first website which is returned, which compares all of that, is this company's parent. Like one of the offering. You sell your material. You sell your OLX and all, right? And all of that, and Carval and all of that, right? Is all brand of these company, and you see how much holding has changed. Change in value is 20%, and even more bought. So much is bought in this company, and if you see the chart of this company, it has been just giving a fantastic run over the last couple of months now. Of course, few names you see, one in the fintech, food tech space, first, all of that you see, and then the internet tech companies, all that companies are now, which are more of discretionary consumer, right? We say it's all discretionary consumption. When you have extra money, then you do this, right? Then you use these products. If you think this way, if you're just living on roti kapda makan, you may not be a consumer of these companies, but when you have some dispensable income, then you of course buy the products and use the services of these companies. So great quantity change in terms of buying, and of course some in the last is selling interest. Now, another view to look at it, apart from the discretionary consumption we talked about, कि भाई extra पैसे हैं तो हम खर्च करते हैं, order करते हैं, खाना ऑनलाइन या फिर शॉपिंग करते हैं या फिर कार खरीदते हैं या जो भी करते हैं, या नया सामान खरीदते हैं तो पुराना बेचते हैं पोर्टल पे जाके. FMCG also, if you see, I mean, if you look at the last slide, it shows from March to September. And I don't know how September is plotted here because we are right now in September. Maybe this is some of the data which is assumed to be capped by the team that September में भी वही carry हो रहा होगा और उसका current price से पता चल रहा होगा कि retail की value कैसे बढ़ रही है और quantity कैसे बढ़ रही है. तो if you see quantity lakhs में है, so this has been rising from now 6 months, 4-5 months. If you see कैसे करके वो space घूम रहा है. अगर आप वही देखोगे FMCG, तो FMCG में मार्च में तो कुछ भी नहीं था, देयर वाज नो बाइंग इंटरेस्ट. बट इफ यू सी अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर का डेटा तो ऑफ कोर्स अक्टूबर में आएगा. बट यू सी हाउ फूड प्रोडक्ट्स is a part of that, right, big quantity, and you see the company mentioned below. Again, nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my coverage, because I may or may not have coverage on these companies, but this is what the industry is buying. The domestic institutional investors are buying in terms of more and more stocks accumulation happening on these names, right? Which means consumption theme, right, has been playing out, and we see that right now. Yeah, this has been crazy, as you know. I don't know, as I said, similar pattern you see in this sector as well. And that is what you have seen. The result of what happened was from April, how cycle turns. So what we can start showing you in part of our AMAs and all of these monthly meetings. And of course, these thing that there is a specific section around electric vehicles, around GST stuff, around, commercial vehicles, and has been a lot of buying interest coming from the MF industry. So you see a couple of names which you can see that how much is the value has changed, and value, as I said, is changing because of the price change also along with new quantity, and you see they are also buying, and few names maybe booking profits. Okay, now if you see how IT is playing up, and I can go slow or fast depending on what kind of interest you see in this kind of data, which I can bring every alternate week to you. You can let me know in the comment you are interested in such data or not interested in such data, etc., etc. So you see again on the IT, we have been saying that IT has been, May, if you see May, April they had, then May they sold some, June again, they kind of still lower than April. July was trying to match, but still lesser than April. August now, so if you see, value has been up and down, up and down. That is what reflects in each of the month bar charts, which means price has been falling, and that's why you see August value is less. But you see the line, right? Quantity you see, they have been buying, 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 buying. Now people say IT services moving towards AI, and what is the future of some big names we have in our portfolios? There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Now you have to understand that. Um, I'm sure they are run by, and we know that they are run by strong management. It is difficult for big companies to take pivots, right? To meet, of course, they have to do a lot of job. A lot of people are losing jobs in such big names. But if you also think about there is an opportunity, right, which they have to do what they did not do in the last so many years about how to think from a product uh, company lens and the value will not be lost on these companies because they were anyhow fundamental strong balance sheet companies, right? They still are doing buybacks and all of that. And you can see, of course, that in few companies, because a lot of profit is made in a very, very short period. You see in the quantity which decrease in the third name mentioned there. We also have been telling our clients in terms of our regular emails with them and the stock of the week and all of that what we share about our success stories at how we could capture the entire move, right? And so it talks about few companies are completely being booked out or sold, but few companies have been increasing in exposure. So you have to be on the right side of the market, and of course use DI as one of the supporting factor, one of the supporting point for your own analysis in case you are a DIY investor. Now, you see how companies like, I'm sure you all have seen um, the Kapil Sharma's recent episode, one of the recent episodes where, of course, all of these founders were invited and Vijay Shekhar Sharma and all of those guys were invited. And it was very nice. It was good in terms of less of those kind of jokes, but more about So it was very good when he asked how much you need a month, right? I think he said one एक दो लाख रुपए चाहिए होते महीने के. Then Kapil said, ठीक है उतना आप रख लो बाकी हमें पेटीएम कर दो. It was a good joke and good spirit. So it was good time. It was good kind of episode. And you see how companies are pivoting. They had their own set of failures. They had their own set of balance sheet. But when the management is strong, when the vision is very clear, you see how the buying interest has been rising from a fund house perspective. So that's about what we saw as couple of sectors such as fintech, IT, automobile, consumer retail as the core areas, food products where there is a lot of traction happening. So that's one part of my say meeting. Um, I can of course show you our internal dashboard where we talk about where we talk about where we seeing themes moving and do we see a lot of green dots now coming, yellow dots, orange dots coming, or we are still kind of in those red. So this is very clear where not every space is getting traction. You see EV and new age automotive had a lot of traction last 2 3 weeks. Right, that's where you say consumption has been trying to come out of that red zone, which is great. Manufacturing is slowly picking up. Infra is not. Auto has really picked up in the last 4 weeks. This is weekly data. One dot represent a week, which means around 2 months of data and 2 months of 2 months ago where we were and 2 months ahead where we are, and we could capture auto in a great style in our multiple baskets. Also, there's a lot of confusion around that everything should be captured in each basket, and I keep telling that when we have six strategies at play at large, six different products, six different baskets. Each is designed for different investor profile and persona. A balanced multi-asset will not do the same job as alpha blend quality all cap. It's all cap. It's multi-asset large cap. Something is multi-factor flexi cap to something is wealth wave like India's financial growth theme. So you have to be very clear in terms of what you are buying in terms of product. You can't be in all products, but you cannot be in one product also, right? You have to make sure that you have two to three, at least two baskets at your side. So it gives you the right balance. It gives you a momentum plus growth or momentum plus value kind of a combination, or you get a theme plus balance, a multi-asset kind of a combination. So whoever is speaking to us, and I and good to see that so many of you are kind of joining and talking, and good that we all are realizing after looking at the last 1 year cycle that you can't be in one momentum basket or alpha basket and just assume then things will be in your favor. It will have its own cycle. Alpha will have its own cycle to bring that flavor to your life. But if you want the right combination. You should have a balanced multi-asset basket along with alpha kind of a combination. Otherwise, you will always be in a very difficult zone. Maybe only in the bullish regime in the markets, you see all of them in the green dots. Do not go there unless they're all green dots, right? So yeah, I see that. Not much. Healthcare, yeah, healthcare has been a little bit of rising. Some part of it. Banks were too good 2, 3 months ago, gone down really bad. That's about transport logistic is picking up, which is good. And that's about days. I mean, sorry, weeks. And if you look at days, last few days, right, which is like, say, like 2 weeks from now in the past, right? Like, so as you see how auto has been doing green, how EV and new age automotive has been doing great, how manufacturing is picking up, how mobility is picking up. Uh, yeah, mid small healthcare are picking up. That's how the market is positioned at the moment. Hi, good afternoon, Amit. Yeah. So also request because Amit was pinging me in the morning, and I mentioned to Amit as well that I would request all of you to start sending emails to us so that we can answer all your questions. It is very difficult to answer over WhatsApp. If you will ask me personally, if you, I of course check once in a day usually, but if I have 9,000 people to deal with, it is difficult for me to answer one-on-one. And therefore, what we can always do is arrange a AMA, arrange a Q&A session. You can always request, we can combine questions. It is not that we have to wait for a month for the AMA to happen. I anyhow come online. I'm okay to answer all the questions. We can book a meeting and you can drop a message to our team number so that more people have access to that query and they can answer, right? That will be really helpful. So that's how we are. Now, if I talk about the broad indexes, if you really want to know, even though it will not have any real value right now because maybe it's the theme which we want to check. You see, all broad indexes are really not doing great, right? If you see Nifty 100 is all Alpha 30, not really great, right? There's no, I don't see any greens here, not even in the last 2 weeks. So if you see broad market, not really doing that fantastic. Nifty going up 2% has no meaning unless there's a broad market recovery, right? Because ultimately, if you look at Nifty to Nifty 25,000, ultimately it will make no money when the time just pass, right? I mean, it has not made no money when the time will just pass. But if you look at picking up sectors, picking up momentum, picking up from the beginning of their cyclicality nature of the cycle, and if you really want to nobody can time really, if you really want to try that, this could be one starting point, right? In terms of what the AIs are doing, what the sectors are looking at, right? That's how we can always do. That's about it. I think I have, do I have something to else to share? Uh, Not really, I think. I have done the MF presentation. Yeah, Alpha Blend has a good layer of change, 35%. We have booked profits for all of the overall name, in terms of combination. Now, I understand that I see in some of the city chapters that uh, you of course want to know the names which were booked in minus, but conveniently ignore the names which are booked in plus. And I keep telling everybody that basket is always a basket. It is never individual stocks. So always look from a basket perspective. We have booked some profits, some higher numbers, and we have booked some losses in lower numbers. Net value, if somebody is in beginning in all of those stocks, if the timing is matching to our timing in terms of when did you enter, then of course you will be adding more realized gain, right? Uh, it will be good to have more realized gains. People are saying that my realized gains is reduced because maybe your timing is different, right? You are not in that company from the time I am in that company in terms of our basket is in that our stock is in that basket. Of course, because you may join the basket anytime later. But once you are in a cycle where all the stocks you have are from the same date we have, most probably in most of the rebalances, you will see that we take care that we adjust because these are discretionary, right? They are not rule-based basket like momentum or multi-factor or say balanced multi-asset. These are discretionary baskets where I have a lot of discretion. My team has a lot of discretion to decide how to ultimately, kind of outperform or give more money in your pocket in terms of you not booking losses, but rather because and then when people don't understand that it is not that we are keeping the same weightage of a company. It is clearly shown in the report that the weightage is not changed. Still, you message that we have booked that company. No, we have not booked. Just that the price has changed in that company over the period of time, and you have to buy and sell to match the weightage, right? Right. Yeah, Alpha Blend is in losses. Rajat, good to have a chat with you as well. Alpha Blend is trying to be on the same side as Alpha strategy, which is Nifty Alpha index. And our job is to make sure to keep trying that we do beat the benchmark of Nifty Alpha. Let me see if I have the data handy and I can uh, compare and if there's a possibility at my side. Let me just check quickly. I think I should have. I'll quickly check. Yeah. So what we're trying to do, we are trying to. So alpha will start creating over market when alpha as a strategy will start performing. Alpha as a strategy usually perform in a bullish regime, unlike say multi-asset balance kind of basket, which are outperforming the broad market in big way. So alpha as a basket outperforms when the market is in a bull regime. When you see a lot of green dots coming across sectors, you will see a lot of alpha will be generated. And since the quality is added as a parameter, our request always had been that you try to add more wherever you can add more. I think that's the whole point around what we are trying to do, right? So let me just see if I can see. So if you see, let me just quick. I mean, of course, I don't know if there's any worth showing performance, but I can still try. Yeah, let me just see my screen if I can share. So what we have to really aim is to generate uh, some layer of alpha. And let me see if the benchmark I usually compare ourselves is alpha 50, right? That is where we, even though it's not a direct kind of comparison, but there is no other index I have in the market right now to compare. Because if I add quality, there's no alpha quality index available. Otherwise, I would have compared with it. But if I add quality, if I check Nifty quality index, it will be even worse than what we see here. And if you see from a short period perspective of recovery, we are sitting here in 1 month, whereas our alpha index is only recovering this much, right? If you see from a 3 month to 3 month perspective, I can of course plot two layer, right? Uh, we are sitting at we both are sitting at flat. It is less than one, right? It is less than 1%. If you see, none of the index or us has moved from a 6 to 6 months perspective. You see that there's a recovery in 6 months, and we can always plot this way so that you can see a clear differentiation that in 3 months, how do I plot? This is 3 and this is 6. So in 3 months, we have not beaten, right? Which is fair. Which is, but in 1 month we have started to kind of recover, and in 1 week to 1 week, I think, yeah, we are trying to get there in terms of where we want to be, right? And that is where the whole purpose is. So what we will also do. Yeah, so Rajat, again, question is that is this basket designed to switch to liquid, right? That is what I have been trying so hard over so many months to try everybody that these baskets are not designed to switch to liquid. I have a momentum basket which will switch to liquid. I have a multi-factor basket which may have a liquid component if market is bearish. Alpha is a quality index, which means that will has a quality, which means that it's a pure cash. None of my discretionary basket, I'll tell you. Alpha Blend, India's financial growth theme, and your third one is which one is discretionary, the growth and value. They are designed to buy things at lower price. Why would you move it to cash? We also can always skip rebalance if needed, right? There's no forced rebalance. There's no machine-led rebalance here. It's not like momentum trend or all of that where machine-led rebalance also. may move it to cash or move it out. Here we can always add money in bottom, right? So again, it's a wrong selection from your side and our side to not able to explain. I have three products which may have a cash component. Momentum trend may have a cash component if there is no momentum in the market. Multi-factor may have a cash component to adjust the kind of weightage and to be have some money at hand in terms of the dynamic allocation. Balanced multi-asset may have cash just for a multi-asset perspective. These are all rule-based baskets. Financial theme, right? The growth that will never have cash because the whole point is that to keep adding money, doing SIP, keep doing SIP, keep adding money in all drawdowns. So it will never have cash. It's a wrong product if you're looking to move to cash. It's not a product to move to cash. It's growth at fair price. When we are saying growth and value flexi cap model, it simply means that we are trying to buy those companies which are showing growth on a quarter to quarter basis. There could be slight slowness in the growth for a quarter or 2 quarters, and the market has just given them a good beating because of headwind. Great opportunity to buy because they are solid companies. Similarly, OTV rebalance, only any discretionary basket will have uh, less than defined rebalance when we really see opportunities and market is in bullish regime. Without it market in bull regime, we cannot have a shorter cycle rebalance. But yeah, there is a discretion. If we want, we will do, but only in the market support. So alpha blend, growth and value, and India financial theme are cash only basket. I have been keep telling, keep telling, keep telling. There is a lot of confusion where you think why we will move to cash. You add money. That's the whole game here. If we move to cash, how will you buy something at a lower price? And we can of course skip rebalance, right? When we have to. So that, as I said, this time, when we have done 30% rebalance, we have made sure that whoever is with us from the start of those inclusions of those companies in that basket, they have added more to their realized gains, right? They have not booked loss. Of course, people who have come later, we have no control, right? Because people who have come later and they have bought something which was, we already had that stock from the early stage and we are booking profits. So again, I know it's unfortunate from you as a receiver, but model doesn't look into your date. No, model will only look into our date of coverage. That's how it is designed, Rajat. So nice meeting, guys. No questions, which is good. And I think I answered. Three baskets, rule-based baskets may have cash. Three baskets, discretionary basket will never have cash. Take your decision accordingly. Do your renewal accordingly. Ask for different basket accordingly. That's how we are designed. Okay, guys, thanks for your time and reach out to our team and to send email. And I'll speak to most of you as part of our monthly AMA this Saturday, hopefully. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.